So I've just got back from a Pink Link meeting that I had this morning, Kendall Pink Link, and it was my turn to do the presentation this week. And I like to do practical demonstrations rather than just like death by PowerPoint kind of thing. And so I tried a new demo this week. I didn't know how it was going to go, so I've not done it like this before. But I just wanted to tell you a little bit about it because I think it went pretty well, and I got lots of lovely feedback from the group that was there. So it'll be interesting to hear like what you think about this. So what I did was I started off and I got everybody to stand up, and I asked them a couple of questions. So the first question was, please sit down if you currently are making enough sales in your business. So you've got plenty of leads coming in, plenty of sales, you're not looking for any new clients. And one of the group sat down. I was like, fine, okay. I spoke to her afterwards. She's absolutely at capacity, so she doesn't need any more clients. So she sat down. Everybody else is still stood up. I then asked them, I said, if I told you about something that you could do that would increase your sales, something that you could do that would bring more leads into your business and give you more opportunities to make money, would you 100% guarantee me that you'd do it? And now a few of them sat down at this point. So I was like, it's free. So maybe they thought I was going to get them to spend some money on something they didn't want to buy. I don't know. But I was like, it's a free thing that you're going to do. Like, you don't have to pay for it. And so most of them stood up again. One of them stayed sitting down. So I had two sitting down now. And then I asked them to stay standing up if they were currently doing any marketing activities for their business that looked like networking, podcasting, posting on social media, talking to their email lists. And again, they all stayed stood up. So I knew I had a room of people, other than the two that sat down, I knew I had a room of people that were all looking for new clients. They all wanted to make more sales. They all were willing to do something that was free, that would change that situation. And all of them were spending time on their marketing. So then what I did was the two that were sitting down, and I picked on someone else in the group that I know who's already a client, so I knew she would be doing this already. I picked on one of the other people that were still stood up, and I got them to come to the front, and I was like, right, you guys are my marketing department. You're the chaos crew, basically. You're my marketing team. And I had some like megaphones for them. These are said megaphones. So pretty loud. And these ones aren't quite as loud, but one of those. So we had some of those. So I gave them these megaphones, and I was like, right, what I need you to do, said it pretty quietly, I want you to stand at the front. So all three of them were at the front, in front of everybody. And I was like, what I want you to do is I want you to shout with your megaphone as loud as you can. Shout your 60-second pitch as loud as you can, over and over, until I tell you to stop. So I've got three lovely volunteers at the front, not volunteers because I made them do it, shouting through megaphones their 60-second pitch over and over and over again. They're really loud. Everyone's sitting there listening to them with these megaphones shouting their 60-second pitch. While they were doing that, I walked up to one of the people in the audience and I said, would you like to just come to the side and have a bit of a chat with me? And I took her to the side of the room and we stood and we had a bit of a chat, and I asked her how things were going in her business and asked her what she was doing the rest of the day, and we had a lovely chat and we got to know each other a little bit better. This was like probably about a minute or something like that we chatted for. And then I was like, right, okay, everyone can stop shouting now. And I got everybody to sit down. And I said to everybody, I said, okay, so this is what you're currently doing. You've got a marketing department that is currently working really hard to generate leads for you because they're shouting out into the public space, out into the ether, through your email marketing, through your social media, through your networking. They're working really hard to get your message out there. But if you're not having one-to-one chats with people, if you're not taking that extra step to walk up to somebody virtually or in real life and say, hey, can we have a one-to-one chat? All you're really doing is shouting your message out there into the ether, hoping that you are inspiring somebody enough to make them take action, to make them come to you, to make them take that scary step, which it is scary sometimes, isn't it, to go up to somebody and say, hey, can you tell me more about what you do? It's a scary step. Like, that's what you're leaving up to them. And all those people that were stood up at the beginning and they're struggling for sales, they want more sales, but they're doing all of this marketing. What they're not doing is they're not making the link between having one-to-one conversations with people and being the one that proactively goes and asks for that one-to-one conversation. They're not doing that stage. They're expecting the marketing to do all the heavy lifting in their business, and they're just not taking that extra step. And if you think about like the business owners that I work with, most of them are sole traders or micro business owners. We don't have separate departments. My business doesn't have a marketing department and a sales team and a delivery person, or like me. Like, that's all for me. That's all me. All those jobs are my jobs. And if we're just focusing on our marketing and we're not doing that sales bit, which is asking somebody for a conversation, then we're literally squandering most of the effort that our marketing department, which is us, isn't it? We're squandering all of that effort. And so if you're not getting the sales that you're looking for in your business, then you haven't got a marketing problem. 9 times out of 10, it's not a marketing problem. It's a sales problem. It's a conversations problem. You're not asking people to talk to you. So what I did then was I asked them all to get a piece of paper out, and I said, I want you all to write down the names of 10 people that you know. So this is not cold calling. It's not like 10 random people. Find 10 people that you know. And I stood and said, there's 12 of us in this room, so I'm only asking you to find 10. Think about 10 people that you know who would be your ideal client that you could reach out to today and say, hey, shall we have a chat? Can we have a conversation? Because right at the beginning of the talk, I said, if there was something that you could do that was free, that would bring more leads into your business, that would bring more sales into your business, that you would do it. And that's what I asked them to commit to. I said, this afternoon, I want you to go and commit to reaching out to that list of 10 and asking them for a coffee chat. And we had a bit of a discussion about this afterwards, and people commented that actually it was pretty easy for them. This is what they said, not what I said. They said it was actually really easy for them to put that list together. And that, a couple of minutes of me prompting them to say, who could you talk to? They were all able to come up with a list of people. Some of them got more than 10. And this was literally in a space of a couple of minutes. And so they're all going to go out now and take those steps. And hopefully I'll know, because I will hopefully have been on that list. So some of them might reach out to me. So I'm going to know if they've done it or not. But this is the thing, isn't it? This is the thing that we're missing. We're expecting our marketing to do all of the heavy lifting, because comparatively, doing those marketing activities, sending an email to our list of however many we've got, putting social media posts out to the masses, feels quicker. It feels more effective. It feels easier actually than asking somebody one-to-one, can we have a conversation? It feels like that route, the one-to-one, can we have a chat? It's a bit scarier, because what if they say no? It might be a bit more awkward, a bit more uncomfortable. And, I can't do that at scale. But a lot of the businesses that I'm working with, they're not looking for scale. They're not looking for 100 clients. They're looking for 10 clients. So, and my question to them is, what kind of activities do you want to be doing? Do you want to be doing easy activities? Do you want to be doing comfortable activities? Or do you want to be doing activities that are effective in getting you the results that you want? And that's the question that we have to ask ourselves. Do you want to do easy marketing that we can hide behind? Or do you want to do the thing that might be a little bit uncomfortable, but that's going to get you a result that's going to be effective? And really what we want to be doing is we want to be bringing these two things together. We want to be doing that marketing, we want to be getting visible, we want to be getting that message out there and using that marketing to generate an opportunity for us to reach out to people and say, shall we talk? And when you marry those two things together, the marketing activity with the asking for a conversation, these two things married together, that's the thing that's going to bring you sales. And the projector wasn't working, so I couldn't show any slides. I mean, I did only have one slide that I was going to show. So I didn't have a slide to back this up, but I just said it. I had a picture on the screen, or going to have a picture on the screen, of my client group taken at our last face-to-face day in December. It's a lovely picture of all my clients together, smiling faces, really happy. And when I look at that picture, like, one of the things that I reflect on is not a single one of those clients are clients of mine because they reached out to me. Not a single one of them saw my social media post and then sent me a message saying, "Hey Bex, I want to work with you." Not a single one of them came up to me after a networking session and said, "Hey, how do I work with you?" Like, that didn't happen for any of those clients. Every single one of those clients became clients because I asked them to be a client. You know, at some point, I've said to them, "Shall we talk? Let's go and have a coffee together." And then we've had a conversation and we've talked about what it might be like to work together. And they all took different lengths of time to make the decision, "Yes, I want to work with you." Some of them happened very quickly. We had one conversation and they came on board. Others, it took a lot longer, but they all came about because we had those conversations and I was proactive and I reached out. If I just let my marketing do all of that work for me and just said, "I'm just going to go networking, post on social media, send emails, you know, whatever," none of them would be clients because that wasn't enough. They needed more from me to feel like it was okay to make that decision to spend the money to work with me. And I wasn't pushy with any of them. I didn't cajole or convince or like desperately try to get them to be clients. I just got to know them. I just had conversations with them. I just built that relationship with all of them. And it was the natural thing then off the back of that for them to become clients. So that was my big ask this morning for those people in the room that I was networking with. There's 11 other people. Was, who do you know? Make a list and go and ask those people to have a conversation with you. Go and talk to them, get to know them, build that relationship. And that's what I'm asking of you today as well. Like, put that list together and go and have some conversations. And particularly in this world of AI, where everybody's divided, I suppose, aren't they, of what they think about AI. But in this world where AI is becoming more and more prominent, these personal relationships, these conversations, this connection with one real person to another real person, like, that's something that AI at the moment cannot do. Like, it can't take that from us. So go and do that. That's my plea to you today as well.